West Ham are closing in on the signing of Manchester City youngster Carlos Borges, according to several reports. Now, the 19-year-old winger, who has been prolific for the Manchester City under-21s, who won the Premier League 2 last season, North Division, with 21 goals in 24 appearances for the Citizens, which is, of course, Manchester City's nickname, if you didn't know that. Now, according to several reports, in particular for Fabrizio Romano, West Ham have agreed a £14 million fee for Borges. And that would start the ball rolling for what West Ham are looking to do. Now, he's he's a technical, he's skillful, he's brilliant with his pace, and he likes to score goals. He has a long history of consistently putting all those combinations together and adding great value to many, many teams that he has played for. Now, a little bit about what he has and who he is and where he comes from. Let me get this for you just now. Now, he comes from Portugal. He was born and brought up in the Sintra municipality in Portugal, and he started his footballing journey at the age of 7 for a team called NADC Sinatra. After 3 years at his hometown club, he moved to one of the Portugal's biggest teams, Sporting CP. However, his stay in the capital city was short-lived, as he did move to Manchester City just a year later after joining Sporting. Now, he arrived at the Etihad in England at the age of 10, and he quickly settled in Manchester. He progressed through all the junior categories before making his debut for the Manchester City under-18s in 2020. The youngster, who was just 16 at the time, became an important figure in that team that eventually won the league by 1 point on the penultimate day of the season, and he was awarded the under-18 Manchester City Player of the Year for a remarkable season. He then took the next step in his development when the current manager or previous manager of the development squad for Manchester City, Brian Murphy, called him into the PL2 side for 2021, and he made his debut for that team in the UEFA Youth League match against RB Leipzig and scored the winner as well. Nevertheless, he continued to progress in the under-18s in 2021 before becoming a regular in the squad for the following season and then again the season after that. He has many attributes as a young talent. He likes to be powerful. He's dangerous flat on a flat, and he also likes to cross the ball into the box. He's also a bit of an unpredictable player as well. Now, something that Russ said earlier on in the video is when you're linked to a young player, especially when West Ham are doing so well in the youth system, and you think to yourself, well, when you compare, say, West Ham young players to other teams' young players, because Man City were doing so well in the North Division, West Ham were doing so well in the South Division, the Borges link's been kicking about for a little while, so you start to keep a keen interest on it. And on the lead up to the finals that West Ham were playing for the lower level, you start to pay a keen interest, take a keen interest in the player. And Borges is a player that's got such an up-and-coming talent. So you may ask, why would Man City consider selling him to West Ham? Well, it's £14 million. So, you know, the trajectory for moving through to the first team is always going to be tough for Manchester City. Look at the amount of money that they spent. That doesn't mean the player's not capable of doing it, but there's a long way to go. And offering £14 million for this absolute what could be a steal in the market. And the reason why, something to consider, is that it looks like Manchester City are offering a buyback clause deal into the offer as well. So West Ham get the young talent for a lower fee for someone that's not Premier League proven, and then you put a buyback clause in there as well. Obviously, West Ham will probably negotiate that buyback clause deal to be quite high. And then, you know, he goes and gets the development that he needs. What's interesting about this deal as well is that maybe if you look at what West Ham were keen on bringing in, if you believed what the rumours were in terms of Harvey Barnes, then Tim Steidten goes out and finds you a cheaper and younger option as well. I mean, as Russ said earlier on, he's got 5 or 6 years on Harvey Barnes. The guy is young. He's vibrant. He's creative. His off-the-ball movements are very, very good. He likes to find space. He likes to receive the ball, and he's got good timings on his runs as well. He's incredibly explosive. He is really, really fast, and he likes to get forward, and he always, 9 times out of 10, beats his opponent in that situation. He's very strong in one-to-one situations, positive with the ball at his feet, confident with his skills. He's mobile. He's skillful at beating his markers and evading quite a lot of pressure, which is something that I think we maybe have lacked on the wing, particularly that side. He's extremely dangerous on the counter attacks thanks to his electric pace and his acceleration. He likes quick 1-2s with his teammates. I think players like Paqueta and even Benrahma will thrive off of that, and I think he'll thrive off of learning from the trade as well. He's effective off the ball. He makes really, really good runs. He's able to dribble, make quick combinations with his teammates at a high speed of intensity, and he's extremely difficult to knock off the ball thanks to his typical, for a reasonably small guy, his low center of gravity. His defensive attributes are quite high as well. We can rely on him for his defensive duties. In actual fact, so much so that he has played at left back for Man City. Not a lot, but a few times. And he's actually scored from that position as well. His predominant position is as a left winger. But he is pretty prolific in front of goal. If you look at his whole career stats from the 2020 season to now, he's played 79 games covering EFL Trophy, the FA Youth Cup, the under-18s, the Youth Leagues, the Premier League 2, the under-18 Premier League, all that sort of stuff. He's played 79 games and he's scored 55 goals with, are you ready for this one, 42 assists. The guy is prolific and he is very, very involved. So a young player coming into the mix, what does that mean? He goes straight into the first team squad? Absolutely, because obviously they see some bright spark here for this player. And on top of that, then that potentially could push Saeed Benrahma into the middle, which is what a lot of us fans have been calling for. And I think that really creates a dynamic, forward-thinking, exciting, explosive, fast-paced West Ham attack moving forward, and it's definitely an exciting opportunity. He has represented Portugal from under 16, all the youth levels, all the way up to under 19. So this player definitely does have a bright future for the Portuguese international side. I really do like the idea of bringing this player in. If I summed it up, he's strong, technical, skillful. He's got brilliant pace. He likes scoring goals. Pep Guardiola wants him, likes him, has got him training in first team squad as part of the Champion League fixtures as well. And although, he wasn't and didn't feature as a first team player, they rate him highly and have kept a close eye on monitoring his progress as well. But he seems to be already at a high level and undoubtedly destined to play first team football for some of the Europe's best clubs, including ourselves, the European champions, of course, as well. But he's definitely a talent to keep an eye on, someone that's exciting. You may ask, does he have the Premier League experience that we're looking for? No, but he does probably have a lot of experience at a lower level youth development stage, and definitely one that goes in. And I tell you what, he's the right type of signing that West Ham should be looking at. He's 19 years old and he comes with a lot of attributes. This is, if we bring this deal over the line, a very good option for West Ham. This gives us another option out on the left-hand side, an energetic option out on the left-hand side. And we could get the option to play around through the middle with some of the current players we've got. This adds value. This adds value to our squad, and this could be a sign of the future of what the signings are. You may hear all these signings, all these names that we're linked to, who are all Premier League proven or in their mid-20s or late 20s, and suddenly, bang, we go and sign a 19-year-old youth, really superstar as well. He's won quite a lot of attributes already, running in the under-18 league in the 2021 season with Man City, player of the season for them as well. So loads of attributes to him, but one for the future, definitely an exciting. Keep your eye on the channel. We'll give you more news as it comes out. But there's a little bit more on your Carlos Borges potentially joining West Ham for a fee of around £14 million. Leave your comments in, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Come on, you irons.